Welcome back. Good Thursday morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story this hour, impeaching President Trump. House Democrats passed 2 articles of impeachment last night against the president. Speaker Nancy Pelosi so far declining to hand them over to the Senate for trial.
If we do not act now, we would be derelict in our duty. It is tragic that the president's reckless actions make impeachment necessary. He gave us no choice.
The founders were very concerned about a partisan impeachment in which politics of the majority who have their strength can do what they want to do, irregardless of any facts.
All we keep hearing from the other side are attacks on the process and questions of our motives. We do not hear because we cannot hear, because they cannot articulate a real defense of the president's actions.
Madam Speaker, I must warn you, I'm about to say something my Democratic colleagues hate to hear. Donald J. Trump is President of the United States. He is President today, he'll be President tomorrow, and he will be President when this impeachment is over.
Meanwhile, the president slammed Democrats last night and their efforts during a rally in Michigan. He said, quote, they have nothing and they're the ones that should be impeached. Joining me right now is the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy. And Leader McCarthy, it's great to see you.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Thank you so much for joining us. First, give us your reaction to the impeachment last night.
Well, you would think in past history that you would see a bipartisan and others. If you looked at the body language, which you can't see on television, you'd see the Democrats were down. They knew they had failed in this process. They knew it wasn't going anywhere, but they were just pushing through because Nancy Pelosi was forcing this. And every time we'd bring up what the Democrats had said from the day they got elected, from the day the president got elected, how they wanted to impeach him, they knew that they had failed.
Yeah, the speaker last night said that she's going to wait until she hands over the impeachment articles to the Senate because she wants to make sure she has clarity that there is a fair trial in the Senate. Can she hold on to these impeachment articles and like throughout 2020? I mean, is this just...
She cannot hold on to forever. That's abuse of power. But it's just an acknowledgement from the speaker that their impeachment is so weak that it's the weakest, thinnest, and fastest impeachment in the U.S. history. But more importantly, the only bipartisan vote was against it. And for the idea that Nancy Pelosi is trying to change the structure of the system in the Senate after what she did in the House with no due process and others, it's really ridiculous that she would even try this.
So I wonder, have you gotten any insights in terms of how long it's going to be before we actually do see a Senate trial?
Dealing with Speaker Pelosi, you could never know. I mean, she tries to change every rule possible, but eventually she'll have to give it. Now, it doesn't matter right now with the holidays. They can't take this up really till January anyways.
Right.
I think she's just trying to make more hay of the process, but she does not have a say in the Senate. That's the Senate body to decide how they move forward.
Were you surprised that you didn't have more Democrats voting against impeachment? I know you've been working with Jeff Van Drew in New Jersey. He's expected today to announce officially that he's officially switching from Democrat to Republican. But what about more votes? I believe it was Congressman John Ratcliffe who said, I'd be surprised if there weren't at least 6.
Well, remember, we had 3 on Article 2, and you had another one vote present. So it's really a major loss for the Democrats. But what's more importantly, when this all started, Speaker Pelosi said that they would be stronger, and now they're weaker. The Republicans are stronger. Their conference is smaller.
What happens now in 2020, in your view, from the voters? I mean, we are 11 months away for the voters to decide if President Trump should be taken out of office.
If you look at polling, if you look at CNN intensity level on the Republican side, you would think that there's 31 Democrats on the other side of the aisle that sit in seats that Trump carried. Right now, we need 19 seats to win the majority. Maybe if Jeff Van Drew changes his mind today, we'll only need 18. There's about 55 Democrats out there that are really challenged. I think you have a very good chance of switching the House.
But then we've got your colleague, Mark Meadows, announcing today that he's actually going to not seek re-election. We understand maybe it's because he's got a White House job that he's going to. Is this a big blow that you lose Mark Meadows?
No, we loved working with Mark Meadows, and we wish Mark Meadows would stay, but his seat would not switch into Democrat hands. And for those seats that have retired this time, there's only one, Will Hurd, Headquartered that is a seat that Hillary carried. All the others, if you look at how much President Trump won their seat by, it's an average of R23. So these are safe seats. But what's most interesting is the individuals who are going to be filling these seats. And these are individuals that are so impressive. We have more women Republicans running than in the history of the Republican Party ever for Congress.
Wow, that's terrific. And when you look at, getting things done, I remember reporting over Thanksgiving that these 31, elected officials had to go home to their constituents and say, hey, here's what I've done for you lately. And it wasn't much because it was all about impeachment. But today you are going to tackle USMCA. Let's talk about that for a second. It was approved by the Ways and Means Committee. The Senate may hold off on its passage until after the impeachment trial. But what are your expectations on USMCA later today?
Well, this is going to pass, and it was always going to pass. The sad part is, why did the Speaker wait so long? This is a very big victory for Republicans. This is a very big victory for President Trump. He did something that no one thought he could do, to renegotiate with China and Mexico, make America stronger. But for the same time that Mexico's our #1 trader and Canada's our #2, China we're trying to negotiate with, they're our #3. We are weaker because we didn't have USMCA done before we got our China agreement. This only makes us stronger. But Nancy Pelosi held this because she wanted to try to deny President Trump a victory, but Republicans fought. The vice president, the president went out across this country and made the case for it. If you take up all the times USMCA was mentioned in Congress, 91% was from Republicans.
Yeah, so
this is really a Republican victory.
Well, the Republicans obviously have been working on this for a long time, and they were pushing back on the Democrat side. I guess it was Richard Trumka who was telling Nancy Pelosi, don't go forward?
Well, it just shows who manages Nancy Pelosi. But what's more important in this is, how did this get passed? How did it get negotiated? All the Republicans behind it. The only reason Nancy Pelosi will ever brought this up is because she impeached the president last night. She could not go home with impeachment being the case.
Yeah, I mean, they sandwiched impeachment between spending and USMCA. What do you make of Republican Senator Pat Toomey? He's out with a op-ed today, indicating in a Wall Street Journal op-ed he is not going to vote for this, for a bipartisan agreement, and yet, he says this is a negative anti-trade agreement.
He just doesn't understand that, because I will tell you, he'll be one of the few who will not vote for this. There'll be a lot of Republicans voting for this bill, because for the same point, it makes America stronger. When you look from any economist, he'll tell it'll move our GDP, it'll bring more jobs, hundreds of thousands of more jobs here, and make America stronger, prosperous. And for the idea that he's opposing this is kind of odd, because remember when NAFTA was created, it was before almost the computer and others, from IP supporting it and others. This is modernizing and make it stronger for America in all aspects, with our two biggest traders, Canada and Mexico.
And I know you did that. I mean, you were talking about this for a long time. You've been traveling a lot, and you've raised a lot of money. The president has raised a lot of money. I wonder if that is partly the impeachment situation. Do you hear from voters anything about your priorities, where they want you to go in 2020? And do you think the impeachment situation actually helped you raise money?
Oh, well, I think it brought intensity level. If you look at a CNN poll, they look at intensity. In the last election in 2018, when we lost the House, the intensity was on the Democratic side very strong. That has actually been a reverse now. There are 8.5 million people who voted for President Trump in 2016 who did not turn out in 2018. If we know who those individuals are, and when you look at the districts of where they live, we would have the majority today. We'd have 28 more seats had they turned out. The one thing that the Democrats did here by moving an impeachment with no facts, no basis, has intensified the base. Because impeachment is really true, not going after the president. It's because they can't beat him. The other reason is they don't like him, and they don't like the people who support him. Remember what they called him in 2016? Deplorables. Now they want to disqualify their vote. They want to change the outcome of the 2020 race. That's what they're using impeachment for.
And you mentioned that last night. Do you think that those is that what you're doing? Is that the strategy? Go for those 8 million or 8 million plus who did not come out in 2016?
Not only just for those 8.5 million, but more. We think that anybody out there that believes this new socialist Democratic Party, they're not the Democratic Party of old that you can compete and have ideas about. This is a new socialist Democratic Party. You will see a member of the Democratic Congress today switch parties simply because he disagrees with the movement. And so we're going after not the 8.5 million, any American that believes they have left you behind, that you think you want a different Congress, that you want to work with this president, you want to focus on the issues of why you were elected, instead of just more subpoenas than laws, more investigations. What do they have to run on? What successes? Name me one problem they have solved.
Well, they blame bills sitting at the Senate. They say we've come up with bills and they sit on McConnell's desk.
That's just not true. Early on, we went after prescription drugs. We found 3 bills that would help lower the price. Every Republican and every Democrat in Energy and Commerce voted for it. But you know what happened before it came to the floor? Nancy Pelosi changed the bill by herself to make a poison pill so it would never become law.
Wow. So extraordinary. This is an extraordinary moment in time. Congressman, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Congressman Kevin McCarthy there.